realize that that song is my life. I'm growing stronger, so much wiser. Won't you please listen to my song? There is no way I could ever turn back now. Won't you please listen to my song? La 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 la. Listen to my song. Welcome back to Nellascope. I'm your host, Chris Nella. I'm a singer, producer, songwriter, author, composer, and a super dad. The purpose for Nellascope, the podcast, was to empower creatives to win with their brand. And the format of the show is simple. Let me lay it out. Let me put all my cards on the table. Every show will have my favorite segment, Indie Fire. Then we'll have a weekly topic that we'll discuss and really dive into. And then we'll end the show with moments to be inspired by. But before we get into that, let's get into today's topic. The topic for today is how to take care of your instrument. In this case, I mean your voice. That's my instrument. We're talking about the throat. Guys, we're going to talk about some ways to keep your instrument in tip-top condition. But before we do that, it's time to grab the oven mitts, get your apron, open up the oven, and get some of this fresh, hot, piping Indie Fire. Today's Indie Fire song comes from my favorite supergroup out today, the award-winning The Agape Music Group. And this week's selection is entitled Assurance. This just came out. It's hot off the press, and I'm going to make sure that all of my Nella Nation gets it. Make sure you share it. Make sure you listen to it. Make sure you be encouraged by it. Without further ado, here's the Agape Music Group with Assurance. Enjoy.
Yeah, you stay winning since the beginning of time. Everything you've done is plenty. Still, I'm always on your mind. You give me confidence with every breath that I take. You're so consistent. No, you never fail. No matter where I go, even in the valley low, you stay with me, always with me. Make it through the fire with you. I can brave any storm with you. Yeah, I'm on one with you. And you are faithful, and you are able, and you don't change, no. Yeah, I got assurance in you. Yeah, my heart is sure of you. I got assurance in you. Yeah, my heart is sure of you. My heart is sure of you. You justify me. I am covered in the depth of your love. You are for me, and I am sure that your grace is enough. From the first day I existed, your love has been so relentless. Never let down, keep me lifted. Always with me, yeah. I can make it through the fire with you. I can brave any storm with you. Yeah, I'm on one with you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You are faithful, and you are able, and you don't change, no. I got assurance in you. My heart is sure of you. Yeah, I got assurance in you. And my heart is sure of you. My heart is sure of you. Yeah, my heart is sure of you. Yeah, I got assurance in you. I got assurance in you. My heart is sure of you. Yeah, my heart is sure of you. Never let go. Never forsake. My heart is short. Yeah, I gotta show it to you. Yeah, my heart is short. Yeah, my heart is short.
Yeah, that's what I like. That's what I like. That is the Agape Music Group with their brand new track, Assurance. Make sure you download it. Make sure you stream it wherever music can be listened to and downloaded. Now, let's go ahead and jump into this topic, how to take care of your instrument. In this session, we're talking about your throat, as we call it here in the South, your throat. Guys, I'm going to give some preventative measures to make sure that your throat is in tip-top condition. I've been singing for almost 5 decades, and I can hit some notes. I can do some things. I can do the verbal gymnastics. But I made sure I did 2 things being a singer. Take care of your ears and take care of your throat. So let's just start out. Let me ask a few questions. You definitely need this episode. If you answer yes to any of these problems, you may have a voice problem. Has your voice become hoarse or raspy? You know I'm talking about, hey, who's over there? That kind of raspy. It's okay to have a little hoarseness, a little raspy in your voice. But when it becomes noticeable to everybody around you, that's when you may have a problem. Have you lost your ability to hit some high notes that you used to be able to knock out the park with no problem when singing? Does your voice suddenly sound deeper? And I'm not talking about just a little bit. I'm talking about your name is Linda, but you all sound like this. Did everybody get enough to eat? All right. When it sounds suddenly deeper and it's noticeable, you may have a voice problem. Does your throat often feel raw, achy, or strained or scratchy? Has it become an effort to talk at any point? If you have to focus to use your words and to talk, you may have a voice problem. Do you find yourself repeatedly clearing your throat? I'm talking about all the time. It's normal to do it throughout the day a couple of times, but all the time you have to and do the little finger in the ear thing and clear your throat. You may have a voice problem. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a couple of tips to prevent voice problems, to kind of soothe what's going on now. But by no means am I a throat physician. By no means am I a professional doctor. This is just what's worked for me over the years. My number one way to take care of your throat is to stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water. I recommend that you make it fun. Go to your local convenience store and get one of those gallons or half-gallon jugs and mark it in the way you want to. But stay motivated and drink at least 6 to 8 glasses a day. It's good for your body, but it's also very, very good for your throat. Limit your intake of drinks that contain alcohol or caffeine. And the reason why you want to do that, because caffeine can cause the body to lose water and make the vocal cords dry. Let me paint the picture for you. Let me illustrate something. All the hollering and all the all that stuff, it is not good for those very, very thin membranes that we call our vocal cords. So you want to be very, very gentle with them. As I said, caffeine can cause the body to lose water. Alcohol also irritates the mucous membranes that line the throat. So with alcohol, you're irritating the membranes that help create a very healthy mucus to your vocal cords to help it stay moist and lubricated and ready to go. Here's another one of my tips. I have several of these in my house. Use a diffuser or a humidifier in your home. And this is really, really important, super important in the winter or in very dry climates. I recommend about 20 to 30% humidity at all times. The great Lena Horne, who sang all the way up to pretty much the time of her death, she said the key to her beauty and the key to her voice always being ready, she lived in moisture. How about that, guys? This is a legend, Lena Horne. She said she lived in moisture. How about that? All right, let's get back to these tips. We're talking about how to protect your instrument, your throat. We're talking about a couple of ways to prevent voice problems. Avoid or limit use of medications that dry out your vocal folds, including some common cold and allergy medicines. Now, if you have voice issues or voice problems that I mentioned earlier, ask your doctor which medications would be safest for you to use. I recommend all natural products because, again, you want that lining to stay moist and not dry out. So if you can, ask your doctor or try the holistic way. Ask someone who's very familiar with herbs and see what they can recommend to you, because again, you only get one vocal box. You can't buy them at a store. You can't order them online. You have to take care of what you have. Here's one that's going to take a little bit of discipline. Let's be real. I'm going to keep it 100 with you guys. This one will take a little discipline and a little thought on your part. Avoid talking and screaming in noisy, loud places such as parties, clubs, things of the sort. Trying to talk above noise causes strain on the vocal cords. So, again, we're all working musicians, artists. What I recommend in that case, if you have to talk business, find a room, find somewhere that's away from the bass frequencies and most of the crowds. Get away from the noise so you can use your normal talking voice, because of the simple fact, doing that repeatedly, because again, we have to work, but doing that repeatedly without proper amplification, it can really do a number on your vocal cords. Now, here's some of my other practical ways that I take care of my throat. I like scarves. I love scarves. I love the cashmere, very soft, very thin scarves. They can be used year round, whether it's summer, whether it's winter. I like them, but people always thought that I wore them as a fashion accessory. No, I like the scarves because they keep your vocal cords nice and warm, and it helps to break down the mucus naturally. And if there is an issue that I mentioned, if you're getting over a cold or something like that, that scarf can help speed up repair time immensely, because your body is doing what it's supposed to do versus you taking a whole lot of other medicines. Your body is doing what it's supposed to do. So I recommend you can go to any store and pick you up a nice cashmere scarf, a nice soft cotton blend scarf, one that, and the thinner the better, because you can use layers at that point. But you want it to be close to the throat, kind of jazz it up so you're doing the most good for your throat and you're looking fly while doing it. You understand me? So that's a winning combination. Now, the most important one for my actually singers, my rappers, my vocalists, my spoken word artists, this is the most important. Stop what you're doing. Get close, because this is the number one key to me and my longevity, and most of the people that are long serving artists. This is what they do. Never skip a warm-up. Warming up your voice before practice or a major performance is vital and necessary in order to prevent injury to those very thin vocal cords. You wouldn't run a 5-mile marathon without stretching, would you? At least I hope not, because you're going to be a sight to see. At about mile 3, you're going to be a sight to see. So what you want to do before you go on to sing, rap, speak, warm up your vocal cords by just drinking room temperature water, saying your vowels, A, E, I, O, U, singing some very melodic songs. Or what I do, drink room temperature water, hum, do a lot of my chords, but never, ever skip a warm-up. It's like trying to drive a Pinto in ice cold freezing weather. You're gonna get about 30 feet away from your house, and then your car is gonna let you down. So don't let your vocal cords be in the same predicament. You got your big show, you know, even if you're late, I don't care. Never skip a warm-up, because those vocal cords, they need to be cared for. They need to be loved tenderly, because guys, it is the only voice box you'll ever have. And I hope these tips really help my singers, my producers, my songwriters, my spoken word artists, my rappers, because we gotta keep it going. Get out there and win, family. Carpe diem. And now it's time for Moments to be Inspired By. This is the part of the show where I get to share motivational quotes, share real life stories that help propel me to the next level. Today's quote is by Robert Frost. In 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned about life. It goes on. It always has. It always will. Don't forget that. So again, regardless of how hard it looks, how hard it seems, how hard it feels, in 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned about life. It goes on. It always has. It always will. Don't forget that. And that was Moments to be Inspired by. Nella Nation, Season 2, Episode 11. It's a wrap. Guys, I'd like to thank you so much for consistently following me. I am loving every bit of doing what I do. And I think somebody said it. I thought I told you that we won't stop, because we won't stop, guys. I want to thank everybody who has listened thus far. If you haven't already, make sure you share this premium content with somebody you know will get value out of it. Now, if it won't affect them in their life, no harm, no foul. But if you know somebody is new or experienced that needs to hear one of these episodes, we have a backlog of conversations that they can listen to just to edify and to build up their craft, because that's why I do what I do, and I love it. Yes, I do. On this episode 11, our Indie Fire song was my favorite group, the super group, the Agape Music Group with Assurance. That is hot off the presses, so make sure that you grab a friend, you guys stream it, you guys put it on your mobile devices and rock out to it, because they produce music that edifies. The topic for today is how to take care of your throat. I gave some practical ways and some ways that have gotten me thus far in taking care of my instrument, which is my throat, and I hope that they will help you as well. They don't cost a whole lot of money. They're easy to do, and I'm glad that I can share them with my Nella Nation out there, and I love you guys so much. Make sure you tune in next week. Next week, I have the icon, my mentor, Auntie Karen Marie Mason. This woman, this queen, is responsible for Mary J. Blige, Criss Cross, Cypress Hill, and many, many more. Guys, you have to tune in next week if you're ready to take your brand, your music, anything that has to do with your artistry. By God, you have to tune in next week. You have to listen to what she has to say about branding, about you being the very best artist you can be. This is my mentor, guys, my auntie, as I call her so affectionately. This is the episode of Nellascope that you've been waiting for. So next week, we talk to Karen Marie Mason. Make sure you tell your mama, your cousin, everybody, because next week is gonna be the episode for you. But before I get out of here, I got to let you know, guess what? God loves you. He's not mad at you. He's madly in love with you. Let that soak in for a second. I'll see you next week with Karen Marie Mason here on Nellascope the podcast. This is your man, Chris Nella. Live hard, laugh hard, love hard. And I'm gone.